Good morning. Hello. Greetings, humanity. I'm Jim, and I'm playing Torment Tides of Numenera. I don't actually have a huge amount of time today, so we're gonna just dive in here and see what happens. I think I'll be okay. It'll probably be about the same amount of time as I usually spend on Torment. I spend a little less time, I notice, on Torment sessions than I do on my various other games, like the builder games, City Skylines and what have you, but I think that is because these take more out of me. There's so much reading. There's a lot of reading. Out loud. Like, you can use certain items and abilities even during conversations or when interacting with objects. Keep this in mind when you need a little extra boost to succeed at a task. I forget that all the time. Ah! Oh, right, yes. Now tentacles. What was it's actually been like 2 weeks since we did this, as I recall, because last week there was stuff. And whenever there is stuff, one forgets what one was doing by the tentacles. I believe that's how the axiom goes. I'm not completely sure. Let me see. Back to the journal with us. So, we don't have a lot remaining that we necessarily have to take care of, I think. As I recall, last time we actually dealt with the whole thing with the anchorage. And so now we're thinking about giving Dracogen this cortex instead of the amulet, which are two items we picked up. For those of you just joining us for the first time, this game is set about 4 billion years in the future. It's based on the tabletop game Numenera by Monty Cook Games. There are going to be a lot of strange words. Yeah, we just picked up this device called the Navigational Cortex. We got it by basically figuring out that this world that we are now on, the 9th world, is the world that actually they were looking for. So they have disembarked to go to a place with much lower technology and a lot harder work, and I don't understand it. Anyway, I mean, it was going to break down eventually on them, I think. Probably. I seem to remember. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works, really. Was there a thing about that? No, it's probably not going to be in there. There's so much. So much has happened. Too much. There's no way to know. Alright, well, that's enough of that. So we go back to Dracogen. This thing, we also go back to Dracogen. And, figure stuff out there. I think, have we done everything in the labyrinth that we needed to? I think we have. The labyrinth of the brain. So I think we're good there. So yeah, I guess we just go back to Dracogen and figure crap out. I think we've done all of the various quests for our various people that we're trying to help, or our various companions, so this is it. This is our final lineup, I guess.
Danger awaits!
And Eratus needs to level up. So, okay, yes, he just made it to the next tier. And I feel like I want to increase either his edge or his effort, because that is proving to be increasingly important. The edge is the amount of discount you get. The effort is the amount of things you can spend on. I'm going to go for extra effort. Spend more effort when performing tasks, yes. Okay. That is a thing that has come into sharp relief as I am playing this game that I'm reminded of about the cipher system in particular, and that is that they have two words, effort and edge, that both start with the same letter, and which do things, slightly different things that apply to the same stats. Because you have the one that allows you to spend more to get more done, and then the other that discounts the amount you have to spend. And sometimes, when one hasn't looked in the book in a while, the words sort of mingle together in the brain, and one forgets which is which. But as I recall, edge is the discount, and effort is the amount you can spend. Alright, well, that was a nice talk. I guess we better go see Dracogen, because I think we're done with... I think we have sucked the marrow out of almost everything in this whole set of things. All that is left would be to go around buying stuff, which, I mean, to be fair, is a decent enough thing we could try to do. Because this may be our last chance to collect stuff that we might want to buy. Have we not finished digging around in these various piles of stuff?
Yes.
Maybe not. Maybe we haven't. I don't know. Oh yeah, you leave the trash alone. Okay, yes. No matter how much you poke and prod. Okay. We are done with that.
I'm going.
I'm not certain. Why are you worrying about these mutants? Okay. According to records kept by Casmine and Mimian, the changing god rarely remains in a body for more than a decade or two before moving on. Stop bothering the mutants and getting up in their business. Let them be. Don't harm them. This way to Little Neeliesh and a difficult to understand scrawl. Don't get in their way. Stumble all over yourself getting at these people. Alright, so there are a few different places. Oh, I already dug in there. There are a few different places one might go if one wants to purchase things. You know, up to and including the Sundermen. And I'm not sure what we're going to need. What do we have in our... We have 2,400 shins. This is a sum we've been hoarding at this point, I think. And I mean, we could just go directly to Dracogen and just keep going, and that would be fine. But, one wonders. What does one need? I don't know. This amulet has come in handy when trying to communicate with the bloom. This cortex is something that I don't know if we're going to actually have the opportunity to use again, except it says use item, so perhaps we shall have the opportunity to use it again. The navigation, you retrieve this tiny metal and synth sphere from inside a larger device. It is the navigational cortex of the Laskar's anchorage, containing records of innumerable worlds and maps of the travel routes between them. You can see infinitesimally small patterns traced along its surface with minuscule lights racing along and through those patterns. Let's actually go ahead and take a look. Someone has just dropped a link in the chat, and now I have to look at it because there are things. I have no idea. There's apparently this is an ad for a game of some kind, which I will look at later. I shall take a look at that later. Yes, I need more distractions. I will see. I'll take a look. But right now I gotta I know I gotta focus. I only have so much time. I'm gonna use this item. You pull the cortex out and hold it, and as you focus on it, a pale blue symbol discreetly appears in your vision, overlaying reality. It's meant for it to be... Yeah, no. That's no, totally cool. Totally cool. I expected that. It was meant to be looked at later. Appears in your vision, overlaying reality. It is a small encircled plus sign, and somehow instinctively... Oh, you can level up with it now. And somehow instinctively, you know it's a location finder. It blinks quietly but insistently, waiting for you to acknowledge it. Where am I now? A broad spinning disc with... I wonder if I had done this elsewhere on the screen, if I'd be able to see this happening. Probably not. A broad spinning disc with arms that spiral around a bright center appears in your vision, lingering long enough for you to realize that this is an image of stars. And then the view changes as the cortex's picture rushes toward a small point in one of the spiraling arms. It resolves into a reddish-yellow star, with 7 dots circling it. In roughly elliptical orbits. 3 of these appear to be rocks, while others are gassy giants. Interesting. A reddish-yellow star, first of all. Second of all, 7 dots. We might be missing... We may be missing a planet or so. The cortex pauses here for a moment and then focuses on the second rock. It is primarily blue, with a single dominant continent and scattered island chains. The view rushes toward an inland sea in the southeast of this 4-pointed landmass. You're certain that this is the 9th world. You should know, having had a very similar view of the world during your harrowing fall from the moon. Oh, that's right, got thrown down from the moon. Yep. Local denizens refer to this planet as the 9th world. It has also been called Dirt, or Earth. Dun dun dun. Script flows across the bottom of your vision, presumably matching the voice's words. It's kind of interesting that it's the second planet from the sun. This means that I'm guessing Mercury got eaten at some point. It's hard to say what happened within 4 billion years. They said that the sun should be out by then, I think, but they did something to renew it. And when I mean they, I mean aliens, probably. Some civilization later on. Every atom of the planet has been affected at this point, gone over. So, who knows? Where am I now? Let me see if it'll specify further. No, it's just going to tell me. Alright. Great, thank you for telling me where I am. Yeah, I feel as though that's something that I can more easily just send other places. I gotta spend this money.
Yes.
Or at least some of it. I feel as though that would be a good idea. I feel as though it would be a good idea because we're about to once again hit a point of no return, so I'd rather, you know, get everything done. Hello. I don't anticipate a need for these devices any longer. Perhaps they can serve you. Alright, what have we got? We have... Oh, I sold them that. Okay, and I think I sold them that. Possibly. It's always hard to remember what it is that I have on me, which one it is that I have on me versus which one it is that they're trying to sell me. Find the word equipped, because that's the word that tells me. Psychic focus. Ah, the bonded items. pretty bad. Of course, the speed is helping. No. Armor's not bad. Neuropraxic detonation. So if we want a bomb, that would be good. We have a Python driver. We have an ecstasy paralyzer. These fascinating weapons. Hyperly traded force, refined fleetfoot moss. These are the things I'm probably going to end up picking up. Just the plus one training and concentration. Actually, yeah, we'll probably grab that, because that is permanent. Entropic engine. It's so hard to know what you should have, right? What do you want, truly? Heretic's Fork. I already can do what the Heretic's Fork does. So I don't need that. Let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff. So we're going to grab the spray flesh. I think probably we want all 4 of them. It's expensive. I mean, what are the alternatives here? Embrace the... I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and grab the things that I know absolutely I'm going to need. Or rather, actually, I don't know if I'm absolutely going to need any of these. But the ones that I think will be probably... You know, this is a thing, a unique thing that I need to get. We'll do that. And then I will come back around once I'm done getting those. I'm going to go around the circuit of the shops and, you know, pick up the stuff that, you know, you can... that revive your fools. I'll do that second. I believe that is how we're going to do. Hi, Hudson. Hi. Is this game not finished? How long is it? It's so long. So long! I remember that I was playing this... I did take a break of like a year and a half in between bouts of playing this game. So I wasn't playing it constantly throughout that time. I should point that out. But it has been taking quite a while. This is a beetle-like parasite about the size of your hand with a glossy green carapace. Most of the time it is inert, the only sign of life being a faint vibration. When placed on the skin, it grips the bone with its armored claws and inserts whip-like tendrils into the nervous system, probing the host's brain. This coupling permanently makes the user more mentally attuned to certain artifacts. After a short while, the creature disengages from the brain, releases a cloud of spores invisible to the naked eye, and dies. We gotta have that! But yeah, I think that'll be about it. I actually will need just 1 second because I forgot to turn on the AC and I do not wish to melt whilst I am here. 1 moment. Here, look at my inventory. Isn't it beautiful? I'll be right back. There we go. Procedurally generated. No, the game has to have an ending. There's only one way out, and that's through it. We Happy Few was decidedly procedurally generated at first, and then they gave it a plot. And I did enjoy the plot, actually, quite a bit.
I'm ready.
Okay, we're gonna head out. Something also I realize I should mention just one more time for also anyone who's just joining us. The Just please to take note of the let me go ahead and actually put that up. We have a content warnings for this game. It was up on the title card. I forgot to put it up here once again. This game may have biological and body horror, identity crisis, slavery, death, assault, and drug use. So just so everyone's aware. And now,
Why not?
if you'll give me just a moment, I am going to attach a beetle to my nervous system. It'll only take a second. Just a brief moment. There we go. Feeling better? Man, I hope so. Is that up from where my concentration was? And it better be. It just didn't. It just did it. There wasn't any text or anything involved. It was just like, yep, you did it. That cipher's no longer in play. All right. Well, we're good, I guess. Hey, you concentrate better now?
Why not?
You're too busy crying out in pain. All right.
Yes. Now.
Shall we stop in
Yes.
there for one last time? I guess. I don't know if there's anything else that's going to be here, but I may as well check. Stopping in to check on Cody. Hey, you came back. Yeah. I just wanted. It looks like everything's fine. This is all stuff that we've done before. Good. Hey, I learned things about you. The old woman nods, waving you closer. Her eyes glitter in the semi-darkness of the shrine. Is Cody still doing well? Oh yes, the whispers still like him. I don't think he hears them yet, but he will. Oh, great. Do I have any more questions? I have other questions. Do I have other questions? Which we did all this before, but I just wanted to. No, we're good. Okay. I think this is all stuff we've asked about before.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we're good there. You didn't click on that cultist up in the top layer, Jim. I have to. I do have places I need to go eventually. Let us check in with the Sundermen. Let me see your wares. So Bloomflesh armor versus Exuvia. So yeah, it's more armor, but it takes away a considerable amount of might and speed. It does have tentacles. I don't think I want to get that close to the bloom, though. Let's see. Bone shard, yeah, fine. Blood globe. It's a cipher. Deals 24 mental damage, confers demoralized to all characters in range of the target point. We have a lot of ciphers right now that we're not going to use. Yeah, I think these weapon ciphers, I don't feel as though... I feel as though we can do without them, but that could just be my bloody mindedness, I'm not sure. It's the speed edge. I sold them that sack of molecular acid, so we don't need that. Okay. Alright. And they had like, wait a minute, they had They had a couple of things of Fleetfoot Moss that I might end up getting, but that was about it. Alright. I don't think there's anything for sale over here. Unless, well, maybe. Unless this is not where I think it is. Yes. That the secret of the tab key is one that I was just completely unaware of. Just checking back in on Skora, who is like the last person left here right now. See if there's anything new happening here. No, this is all just tell me again what happened to you. So it's the same as we did before. We're carrying around some like a jar of iron wind that they gave us, and I'm not sure what we're going to end up using it for, but it's going to be horribly destructive. It's just basically like, here, have some antimatter. Attacking is rarely the only solution to a crisis. Try interacting with objects in the environment or talking to your foes.
Of course.
Spend XP to advance your characters. XP is gained mostly from solving quests, but can also be gained by making discoveries. Alright, is there anything we want in there? I don't think there is, but I can find out. No, it's just, we're just talking about patience. Okay. Are you selling stuff? No, just let me cut your face. No, that's okay. I'm gonna keep my face where it is for the time being. I appreciate the offer. Yeah, talking to foes is so funny. Don't tell me about that. Oh, good God. Sheen, okay, Sheen is the one selling ciphers, I believe. Let me see what you have for sale. Let me see if there's anything else left I want to grab from them. Element of Quickness is a cipher. That could be good. +1 speed edge. At least until the next sleep. How much is that? 228. Essence of the Elder. Unagran? 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 Anyway, confers that +4 resistance, +8 energy damage on attacks. Not terrible. You'd have to remember to use it. It would take up a turn, though, and I don't know. That's an oddity, which I think I sold to them. 1,000 Years of Rest, which I could use in real life. Which is good for 3 sleeps. I'm considering getting these. Impure Essence. Increases the stat pool with the highest max value by 2. Decreases the other pools by 1. I assume it's temporary thing. Yeah, that's not going to be too much of what we want. Force others to fight on your side. Bravery. +60% attacks, 20% critical chance on attack. That might be a good one for this feller. And a floating pendant. No, I didn't mean to buy that. God dang. Here, say goodbye to your monies. How much did I just lose on that? How many monies did I just lose? I don't know. I have no idea how many monies I just lost. Let me check my inventory real quick. Figure out what I just purchased. Or what I need to sell. That too. Okay. So, let me see if I can... I am a fool. I am a fool! Alright. Let me go back just a sec. Let me see when the last autosave was. The vast interior. That was about 5 minutes ago. But it was after we went into the old slave block, so that's probably means we haven't lost much, if anything. Let me see where it drops us. Okay, I guess as we were about to head in there. I don't think I actually bought anything from the Sundermen. Check my inventory. I have forgotten. Wait, no. Where are my shins? 2036. Okay. That's fine. It means we've spent some already, and I think we're good. Because I'm pretty sure we went ahead and did whatever we did with our concentration. Alright.
Go.
Back this way. Let's try that again. You'll not fool me. Okay. I'm going to buy the element of quickness. Because I think that will help. Although I should probably give that to, I think I should give that to Makina, possibly. And, let's see... 1,000 years of rest. I'm just going to buy that on general principle. And, here. You purchase the Essence of Bravery. Which consumes movement, so that's something you take in between... Okay, that's good. Taking this only consumes movement as well, but I don't think we're going to worry too much. Nothing for you! You may already be full of... You've already hit your cipher limit. Too many is bad for you. Should I sell something? What do I have? What do I have in my pockets? So, the Smart Traveler's Star. Yeah, okay, we can sell that. Soul of the Forgotten. Apparently I can use that item. I will look at that in a moment. The ossified trifolium. Yeah, I can sell that. Spirit Shroud. That was the cape I was wearing. Does everyone else have a cloak? Anybody need a cloak? No? Yes? Yes, no? Okay. Patience everlasting. Yeah, I mean, that would be good. I can sell that. Thinker's Cap. Plus 1 intellect edge, minus 2 intellect pool, which I could probably afford to wear at this point. If anything else goes dark here. The buzzer. Why am I holding on to that? Emergent Chief's Key. I probably won't need that anymore. The mirror casters I'm going to hold on to because selling those is going to be a problem. Slug Spitter. Long range medium weapon. The Gauntlet of Murder. I feel like there may be a plot thing here. I'm going to hold on to it for now. Mirror casters we got to hold on to. Compass of the Navigator. It would be cool if it had a plot thing, but I'm probably going to end up selling that too. Okay, and then we're back around to these. Okay. I'm going to save the game before I sell these. Just in case there's a plot thing somewhere. Not that I'll ever know, but who knows? I might read a review of the game in about a year and think, no, I must fix that, and then I'll be glad this save game is here. I'll be glad. Alright. In case I happen to need the monies. Okay. Objects. So the Traveler's Star, we're going to go ahead and sell that. Soul of the Forgotten, we're not going to sell that yet. I want to actually use that. Trifolium, we're going to sell that. My old Spirit Shroud, yeah, let's sell that. Not the Mirror Caster. The Compass we will sell. Not the Mirror Caster. We're holding on to the Gauntlet because it amuses me. The Key, we will sell the Key. Thinker's Cap. We're holding on to that for now. Patience Everlasting. We're going to sell that, despite the fact that we may need it. Also, the Scriptures of the Great Devourer, I feel as though is something we can go ahead and sell, because that's... yeah. They'll buy it, so why not? Okay. That is all I shall sell for the time being. I am carrying 8 ciphers. What madness is this? I want to try something. Stand back, I'm going to try something. What is it you're gonna try, Jim? Not that. That. Soul of the Forgotten. What does it do? You're holding a small box in your hands. It is shaped like a casket and beautifully ornamented, with writing etched into the lid in markings that resemble no language you know of. By contrast, the casket is minimalist, even bare on the inside. A single pastille lies within. I can't remember where we got this. Wait a minute. All that remains of a forgotten people who once lived and prospered in the Ninth World. Their names are etched into the lid in markings that resemble no known language. Where did we pick that up? Isn't it strange that there are multiple places we could have picked something like that up? We could have gotten something like that in a number of places. Inspect the markings on the lid. A skillful hand etched these markings deep into the lid. The glyphs are intricate and strike you as ideogrammatic, but you can't decipher them. And yet they seem oddly familiar, as if you've seen them before. If not in this life, then in another. Shall we use anamnesis? Of course we shall. %'s enough. One would think. Success. A memory blossoms, but it is hard to comprehend what you're seeing. It is as if it is seen through the eyes of someone not human. Do you speak this language, or do you not? You see your fingers trace a pattern on a set of glyphs very similar to those on the casket's lid. Almost reflexively, you repeat the pattern on the lid. The casket lid opens, revealing that a small blue figure with long spindly limbs has now appeared, lying atop the pastille, opening some of his many eyes to look up at you. The figure clambers up to sit on the edge of the casket. Several eyes are focused on you, blinking at irregular intervals. He starts speaking in a high, wailing tone. You can't understand a word he is saying. Recognizing this fact, he picks up the pastille and reaches it up towards you. Shall we eat the pastille? I don't even know what a pastille is. What is a pastille? Do we know? Do we? Do we have the slightest idea? I love that the captioner thinks I'm saying Bastille. It is not Bastille Day, is it? It's Pastille Day. Because we're about to eat it. A small candy or lozenge. Oh, it's candy. Sure, let's eat that. That'll be absolutely fine and nothing bad will happen to us at all. As you consume the pastille, or Bastille if you're the captioner, a burning smell immediately overwhelms all of your senses. Flashes of memories try to force their way into your mind, but they are too alien to understand. After some time, your mind settles down, leaving blurry memories and hazy details, yet somehow you have gained a full cognizance of the people that this casket memorializes. XP! You understand that the people memorialized by this cask were a secluded people, now long gone, eradicated by a cataclysmic event. You feel the nature of their existence as if it were a tangible being. As they neared starvation, there was no crime, no theft. People sacrificed themselves before they would let others die. While you do not know them, you will remember them. Oh, wait, I'm being offered internet fame by a bot. Let me fix that. Okay, there we go. Gained 4 XP. As the cognizance ends, you find the creature gone, the casket now burning with a cold fire in your hands. In mere moments, it is nothing but ashes drifting away between your fingers. We've lost that item. Well, that was fun. We got XP, though. So always good to... You always must check over your items. Just in case there's good crap in there. Alright. We're done here. And that's about it. So all I have to do now is just buy the stuff that fills your stats back up, and that probably, and then I can just go on to the Memovira. Let us do that. I shall purchase your Fleetfoot Moss. Both of them. Now I shall play mind games with your younger self for just a moment. No, we won't. Okay, never mind. All right. And back down here.
Let's go.
And actually, I believe there's one more person to buy things from. Before I forget. Wait a minute. You know, I haven't checked that out. That's true. There may be 2 other people to buy things from. Okay. More Fleetfoot Moss. Refined Fleetfoot Moss. We'll have the lot. All of your spray flesh. And hyperlutriated force. Just in case. And now, since I have remembered there are more people to buy from, I am wary. But we shall see. One thing I actually do want to check out, now that I'm thinking about it, is that there were merchants up this way, and they have quite possibly set themselves up in that space that we had to fight to get out of. And I had discounted it in my mind because I was like, no, we don't want to go back there ever. But maybe we do. Maybe we do. The vast interior shopping spree. What was that show called? Was it Supermarket Sweep? Was that the name of the show, or am I just remembering words? Gristler. Yep, still there. Something you need. Where did the merchants go? On about their business. He gestures vaguely at the newly opened gateway to the trade post. Them sour fellows pay well, but that's all the good I have to say about him. Guess I'll be moving on soon. Got enough shins to hold me over for a while. Alright, yeah, we're good. Anything else I need to know about you? No. Okay, we're good. You ever need advice about the bloom, come find me again. Here, let's walk into this very safe-looking cave with teeth. And, I'm just curious to see what this looks like. Oh. It's different. At least a little bit, because,
Of course.
funny.
Why not?
Okay, the mall is still there. It's just had to be revealed again because they changed it. It is rather organic, yes. Sure, the trade post is open again, but for how long? And how long till it eats us? Till it eats us. I know, right? We're just going to talk to your guards. We're not actually going to say anything to you. Oh there, trade's running smooth again, or as smooth as it can around here. Merchants have unpacked their wagon and repaired some of their broken tables that you saw here earlier. Human merchant, Vargellan merchant. We met with our contact in the Ascension, and it gave us a new set of baubles. The human opens a wooden display case that contains an array of crystalline artifacts, each of which appears unique. And normally we would sell them for ridiculous prices to the wealthiest families of Sagus, but for you, a discounted rate. Can you tell me a little more about your trading partner in the Ascension? It's less of a partner and more of a floating megalith, finishes the Vargellan. Ponderous stone and glittering scales, but all one being, a single intelligence. Oh, I've seen that thing. We pass through the gate, searching for familiar form. The Vargellan puts its hands around its eyes and mimes a slow and careful scan right and left. Hard to find, never exactly the same. Interesting. The human nods. Once we find the thing, we try offering it a variety of chemicals and powders. Sometimes it accepts them, or absorbs them anyway. In return, it excretes interesting things. With useful properties, most of the time. He snorts dismissively. It's a strange business we're in. Really? Let's trade. What do you have? Bedazzling Flower. This is another cipher that automatically lets you succeed at the next persuasion, deception, or intimidation task. Ooh, 3 uses. That could be very handy. Crystal Fortress. Confers Crystal Fortress, negates the effects of esoteries and ranged attacks. Okay. Consumes movement. Fractured Band, plus 15% on attacks, okay. It's an ornament. Does anyone need an ornament? You might want an ornament. Yeah, you're the only one without an ornament. Okay. We might get that for you. But there's another ornament. Deals 5 chemical damage to enemies entering or starting their turn in immediate range. Okay. Hyper-illustrated force. Spine armor! I don't think I can wear that kind of armor. 10 armor, 6 resistance, minus 6 to might, minus 6 to speed, minus 30% on esoteric attacks. No, thank you. When hit by a melee attack, spines spring out of the armor and impale the attacker. I mean, it's nice, but I don't think that's a thing we can do. Also, it says only usable by the Last Castoff, and I don't think we can get that for someone else. Okay. This looks useful for, actually, so there are a couple of items here that I think would be useful for Tiber here. So we're going to go ahead and get them. This small palm-sized crystalline structure has the solidity of a thin sheet of ice, threatening to crack and break in your hand, yet it houses untold social possibility. Upon its use, it generates a simulation of another possible responses. I assume they meant of other possible responses in the conversation that you're in. It determines the best way to say what you wish to convey and seamlessly integrates this knowledge to you. However, upon such use, the bedazzling flower turns to dust. I could really use this in real life. Mystical lore tells us bedazzling flowers are rare and valued. One was long held by Forthos, a powerful but extremely socially awkward man. He planned to use it when his substantial means began to fail him. The legend says he ended up using it not in a business deal, but rather when talking to a small child on the street. It is unknown what was said, but both went their ways after. That's a good story. We shall purchase that. And you are now over your cipher limit because I am a fool. Here, let me move that over to me so that you are no longer over your cipher limit. Ah. We have too many ciphers. Why do we have so many ciphers? It's a short range thing. We could probably get rid of the cure if we want to. There's so much. So much we have not yet used. Alright. Anyway. This ornament, it looks like it could come in handy, and Tiber does not have an ornament. It is 640. We're not going to have much left. We will buy it. Do I want to go ahead and sell some of these? I'm going to sell a few of these things because I don't want to hit my limit here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and leave this as is, but you know, we're so close to our cipher limit. Okay. Well, there we go. I do, however, wonder if anything, now that we know this, if anything would happen now that if we go and talk to that cube again. It would be amusing. I'll be back later. We'll be here, assuming the bloom doesn't eat this place. That would be a problem. Okay, we just basically can go over and pet the Anine, I guess. That's it. Alright, I'm going to save the game again because reasons. They got me. They got me curious. I'm going to see if it's possible to offer it something. Because that was the only thing we didn't really... We interacted with it, but I'm not sure what all we got out of it.
Yes.
We chose not to damage it. But I'm wondering what will happen if we go in armed with the knowledge that you can trade with it. Ah, there's the dead body that we left here. That's good. Glad to know that they went through and had no issues with that.
Look out below! Above! Sideways! Action! Here I come!
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Eritus. Thank you. See, there it is. Hi.
Of course.
Tell me what you want. Product. Alright, I guess that's it. It's unfortunate that we can't, in this game, just pick up, use the items that we pick up randomly on other things.
right.
Let us head out. The end grows nearer. Will we have time for the end? Hopefully. During a crisis, move party members to opposite sides of an enemy to inflict the flanked fatal on them. Alright, we're heading back down this way now. Coming into the home stretch here. A glowing green icon next to the name of a skill indicates that you have boosted it beyond the specialized training level. This can only be done by equipping items or gaining abilities. I know there's stuff you can fight this guy and get like some trophy or other for having done so. Once you're at a point where he believes you're good enough for him. We won't do that right now. But there is a merchant over here. Okay. Oh, holy crap. How much of this is stuff that I sold them? Okay, this is mostly weaponry. Honestly, I think we're fine with most of what we have here. Panacea. That actually would not be bad. Still mirror. Not be bad either. Max effort +1 on all non-combat tasks. That wouldn't be bad either. And then the rest of these is stuff that I sold them. Decisions. Okay. Those of us most likely to do the healing. It's hard to say, really. Just want everyone to keep attacking. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have this on Makina while I purchase the Still Mirror. And then Panacea. Panacea could be good too. Do I want to hold on to this many ciphers? Do I truly? Yes. I'll let Eratus hold on to that for no apparent reason, even though mostly we just use them to beat things up. It does consume an action. I figure these will mostly be for those times when you can get only so close. You're close enough, but you can't act, that kind of deal. Something like that. I don't know. We'll think on it. It is good, I think, to have them. Okay. Well, there we are. Okay. Well, we are about to do the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and save this one more time before I do this. can do that. Any moment now. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step away again for just a moment, and then I will be right back. So we're going to so I'll be right back. Just a moment. Hello. I am back. Okay. We're gonna go for at least another half hour, I think. So that should hopefully give us time to at least do the introductory stuff with the Memovira and see what happens. Okay. Characters whose voices change every time I do them because I can't remember. Are you still interested in exploring the bloom, my friend? Word has reached these humble ears of a new maw opening near the court of Garkoto in Little Niliesh. If it leads to the place I recall, which I thought long gone, it may contain devices of great value indeed. If I did not have pressing business here, I should explore it myself. But I forget myself. What can I help you with today? Then he pauses and leans toward you. His nostrils flare slightly. The air around you is different, Castoff. You bear the amulet. Give it to me, and we shall consider our agreement concluded. I have heard that you sought the navigational cortex of the Lascars. Would you accept it in place of the amulet? Ah, yes, that would indeed be sufficient. I've tried to acquire it before, but to no avail. Should you manage to obtain it, it would certainly be a fine substitute for the amulet. The agents I employed previously were not up to the task. This was an occasion of great surprise to me. They are tough, capable explorers, and I thought them more than sufficient to the job. If you gain access to the anchorage and the cortex, I suggest you employ guile before violence. I would hate to see you fail as they did. Alright. Ask your questions, friend. I'll answer what I may. Yeah, I had it, and I didn't even worry about it. Until next time, friend. I guess I had to do that as a separate deal. Now that I have the navigational cortex, I should return to the Memovira's courtyard and give it to Dracogen. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. You return again. Surely this time you bear what you promised, even though you didn't even step away. He sniffs the air. Alas, you do not. Time of mere mortals is not of the same scale allotted to Castoffs. What? Can I not just give it to him? Ah! I think perhaps we found a bug. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad I saved right before that. If you pick the wrong thing in the conversation tree... I know if I'd have to trigger it by going all the way back to the anchorage or what have you, but let's not worry about that. I wonder if that's going to leave that quest hanging. We'll see.
I'll remember that.
Oh, that's giving us XP. His smile disappears as he considers your words. He licks his lips nervously and places his hand to his forehead as if he were suddenly stricken with a headache, or if he were communicating. Interesting. He looks up after a brief moment, his smile returning, though not nearly as wide. Your words are wise, I will accept. He places it into a flat pouch at his hip, and no shape distorts the pouch, as if it were merely a gateway to some larger place. Acceptable, but not ideal. Take it. There will be other opportunities. Oh my god. What have we done? This concludes your part of the transaction. Let me honor mine. Come with me. Here we go. When someone tells you to take care of unfinished business before leaving a location, take heed. Usually you won't get a chance to return later. Yeah, if they tell you. This way, draw any weapons and you'll die in short order. No, he's not there anymore. That was a guard. Alright, never mind. Well, here we go. Now we're gonna finally actually do this. The Memovira. The Memovira is a medium-sized woman, regal in bearing. She scrutinizes you with a look that manages to convey both admiration and disdain. We get through perception. Her eyes cut to Matkina. A slight tightening around her eyes suggests a wariness toward Matkina. So he escaped Mila Vest. A shame he chose to come here. Alright. Got like a glowing hologrammatic control panel right there. Or a place to DJ from, I'm not entirely sure. Is this a club or is this a... Okay, never mind. Though her words are cultured, her voice is rough, perhaps an artifact of low upbringing. Dracogen was effusive in his praise of your skills. I've been following your... Effusive in his praise of your skills. I've been following your movements myself. You moved the trade post out of the depths. There are very, very few people who could manage such a feat. The way she looks at you and holds herself suggests that she might be wary, or even slightly afraid, of said accomplishment? The bloom has surely turned against me if he can do what I could not. Yep. Her eyes are piercing as they sweep across you. I've dealt with Castoffs before, of course. I found your kind to be tenacious, resourceful, and skilled. And I know the one you are looking for. I can tell you where she is hiding. Is it where you hid your honor? Your loyalty? The Memovira seems to stifle a yawn. So high and mighty for one who's betrayed everyone she's ever worked for. You have no idea how deep my betrayal goes, Kina. Leave her alone! You don't know her as well as you think. Enough of this. Tell me what I need to know. What's she talking about, Makina? Wait, what? This is a good question. Because I could just stick up for Makina, which I probably should do. Or I could just say, enough of this. Or I can ask Makina what she's talking about. I'm afraid that my... You know what? I forgot to freaking sleep. Why didn't I sleep? Oh well. Makina says nothing, only glaring at the Memovira. My betrayals are nothing compared to hers. Okay. Watch that one, Castoff. Her blades are always hungry. She smiles patronizingly at Makina. Anyway, you came here for another purpose. You need my help to find the first of your kind. The first is alive, then? She pretends to hide a contemptuous smirk. Dracogen told you otherwise, didn't he? He knows far more than he lets on. He also knows better than to give away my bargaining chips. Your information is correct. The first is alive. But like Dracogen, I'm not inclined to giving away my secrets for free. I understand she's been hidden from your kind for over a century. I have no qualms about betraying her, but the cost will be steep. I have lost someone, an important member of my organization. You've no doubt heard of the recent changes in the Bloom. Perhaps you have even heard the rumor that it has turned against me. To some extent, that is true. Ishin is a victim of that betrayal. She looks at the floor, saddened. Ishin was my best scholar, a genius with the Numenera. Through my own means, I've divined that he still lives. But I cannot reach him. The Bloom has taken Ishin to its heart. I have lost more men than I care to think about while trying to recover him. As a Castoff, however, you have certain advantages my minions do not. Her tone becomes curt. With the recent fluctuations in the Bloom's layout, I no longer know the path to reach the heart. I suggest you talk to someone who knows the Bloom well if you cannot discover the way yourself. I can no longer afford to send anyone who is not otherwise expendable. Okay. I know at least one person. The first is powerful. If you tell me where she is, I'm sure together we can rescue Ishin more easily. I have a few questions, actually. I'll be back from the Bloom's Heart shortly then. Farewell. I'll try this line. Her laughter rings throughout the fortress like a death knell. Oh, she is powerful. Of that have no doubt, Castoff. And I am sure she will not be as helpful as you think. Her smile disappears as quickly as it arrived. I do apologize if I gave the impression that this was a discussion. Her voice hardens. I have made my offer. Rescue my friend from the Bloom's Heart, and you shall have the location of your precious first. Fail, and you will not. Do I make myself clear? Her voice returns to its ordinary tones. Now, if you excuse me, I have an organization to maintain.
I'll remember that.
She addresses her guards. See that the Castoff doesn't get lost on his way out. Alrighty. Stuff! There's stuff here! Oh, wait, no. Can't look at the stuff. You have a 100% chance to hit an enemy. If you have 100% chance to hit an enemy, you automatically gain the maximum amount of bonus damage that you can get, regardless of how many levels of effort you apply. Okay. Good to know. Okay, we're back out here then. Okay, we weren't permanently sealed off. So that's good to know.
To action!
I was concerned that would be the case. So we can still sleep if we so desire. And there's leveling to do.
All right.
Hey, you lied to me! I mean, saving would happen actually after we level, but just in case. Just in case. What's the rule system for that? Oh, hey, Matt. Hey, how's it going? This game is, this is Torment Tides of Numenera, so it is based on the rules of the Cipher system in Numenera, somewhat. It does have a couple of things in it that's different from the Cipher system. Because, you know, obviously they had to adapt it to the sort of format of the computer game. The most notable bit, I would say, is that you have health points, which you do not have in the Cipher system, obviously. But they've got they've stuck to it actually more, I think, even than they needed to. With they have the different skills that you can apply, and I mean, although you know there's not a list of skills in Cipher system, but they've come up with some decent ones, and the things that are commonly done, and they have the might, speed, and intellect, and then you get abilities at different tiers, and you have like a number of tiers. I presume you can have it up to 6 tiers, like in the Cipher system. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It reminds me, it helps to remind me of certain things. It reinforces stuff from the Cipher system better than I thought it would. So I like that about it. Now, what do I want to do? I think it's going to be all about effort by and large. Although actually, the Last Castoff already has a phenomenal amount of effort, so I'm just going to increase the edge to make everything less expensive. Really? Well, yeah. At this point, yeah, it's not really a priority. I've got so much intellect at this point. I've got an embarrassing amount of intellect, so I'm gonna go ahead, I think, and just do an ability or a skill, because why not? Let me see what we have here. Do I want my anamnesis to get better, my endurance to get better, my natural lore, my perception? Let me go back and check out what abilities there would be possible. I could finally up my onslaught, which I never did. Flash damage, Maelstrom. It wouldn't be bad. I have so many of these things. I think, let's see. This is like a total of 12 damage. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually up the, probably going to up Flash, because that looks useful. Okay, that's done. That part's done. Now let's level Matkina up. A furtive Jack who murders. With Matkina, we'll go ahead and increase the. Once again, we'll increase the effort available. Which is a lot. And Tiber too can now do this. And we already increased effort, so we'll increase edge. And the question becomes, which kind? Because Tiber is good at things with both speed and intellect. We primarily like to use Tiber to talk to people, I think. So we will increase the intellect edge. Make that easier. Yeah, that's weird because with Tiber we're spreading it out further. And then we already leveled up Eridus a little while ago. Be ready for another level up soon. And game saved, apparently. Alright, let's talk to Dracogen. Just so we can poke him with a stick and say, "You lied to me!" What will you give me for the magmatic amulet? Oh, great. I've heard that you've sought the cortex from the anchorage before. The agents I employed previously were not up to the task. This was an occasion of great surprise to me. They were tough, capable explorers, and I thought them more than sufficient to the job. If you gain access to the anchorage and the cortex, I suggest that you employ guile before violence. I would hate to see you fail as they did. Now, I don't want to get committed to anything, but I will ask this question. What will you give me for the amulet? You wish to return it to me now? The cortex was enough, friend, but I will gladly accept the amulet. My firm offer is 500 shins. Or perhaps I could trade you for another device. It came into my possession via a Castoff named Vicarian. She called it a mirror cast. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! A mirror caster! Another mirror caster! How badly do I want a mirror caster? I'm gonna say not today. But just because I think the amulet might help us with getting into the heart. That said, however, I really kind of want that mirror caster. I both want and don't want it because, of course, of how much brain space the mirrors that one accesses through the mirror caster takes up. Oh man, that's rough. That's rough. And more questions. How do I get to the heart of the bloom? He stares at you for a moment and licks his lips. At last he does that a lot. At last he replies, I must admit I do not know. This is knowledge I have sought and failed to acquire. I can only suggest that you ask someone closer to the bloom than I. Someone who is not the Memovira. Okay. I mean, is there anything else that we haven't already... Yeah, these are all things we've asked about before. People of the Bloom. Yeah, this is all stuff we've asked before. I think we probably already asked him all about himself. No, we're done. Okay. It's interesting to note though. Let's see what is wow, yeah. A lot of stuff. Let's see. The completed quests, Dracogen's price. I discovered that Dracogen once attempted to steal an item called the Navigational Cortex from the anchorage of Okay, we already had that. Was there anything in here I didn't know? I don't think so. Covetous hearts. If I'm willing to engage in some illicit business, I can see if Dragon desires the Cortex. I might be willing to offer something that's valuable in return. I'm glad they closed out this because just having that additional thing just sort of sitting there open was not going to be helpful. Into the depths. Okay, find a maw that leads to the Bloom's heart. The Memovira told me that the first Castoff is alive. However, she will only reveal the first's whereabouts if I can rescue her. If I can rescue one of her people, a scholar named Ishan. Apparently, Ishan was abducted by the Bloom and taken to its heart. The Memovira no longer knows how to reach the Bloom's heart, So I'll have to find the way myself. She suggested that I seek advice from someone who understands the bloom well. I spoke to Dracogen, who reluctantly admitted that he doesn't know the way to reach the bloom's heart. I think it's that that fellow that was there with the traders that were stuck with their caravan. That is likely the one with whom we must speak. You just randomly talk to the refugees again. No. Alright.
I am the very soul of action.
Perhaps we should get some rest before we do this. Because I think we're in a decent place for that. We are going to once again save, because of course we are. I mean, we could also talk to the priestess. Having various convos with people. We shall sleep here. Of course, I'll bring you some food shortly and tell you some stories if you like. Enjoy your night. Okay. And healed.
All right. All right.
All right. Yes, Katie would not be probably who we want to talk to, but of course we're going to anyway. Again. We want to challenge this. Waits for prey. Nah.
I'm going.
I mean, we could just do that, but I don't know if it's a great idea at this point. So we have a choice. We can talk to Gristler. We can go over here to the temple. The Shrine of Chila. Talk to these to the observant spec. I feel as though there are a couple of ways to do this. Let's see what we've got here. Why did we all stop on that spot? That's not good. Do you know how to reach the heart of the bloom? Folks say there's a maw that will take you to the heart. If the stories are true, you can only see it if it wants you to. His easy smile fades. Never been there myself, but when I need something from the bloom, I go to the place where she's most likely to hear me. He nods his head toward the colossal statue on the other side of the vast interior space. The Shrine of Chila the Great. Maybe somebody there can set you right. What will I find in the bloom's heart? Atria, ventricles. I call myself a bloom guide because I know this sack of guts, but the deep places are different, more alive, more conscious, full of voices. Packs of them that wrap themselves in flesh so they can wander around and feed. The heart is where the Memoviras are made and unmade. He pauses uncomfortably. If you go down there, you ain't coming back until the bloom is finished with you one way or another. Oh, great. Are the best places to look for moths again? Dark corners, I always say, but you don't need my help. He nods. You know your way around the bloom well enough. Great, thank you. I feel so much better about myself. Ever need advice about the bloom, come and find me again. Okay. Alright, well. That tells us what we want to know. Gristler said that the maw leading to the heart can only be seen if it wants to be. He suggested asking someone at the Shrine of Sheila for help. Okay. Trying to think if there's anyone else, and no, these are the... I mean, these folks, maybe. Alright, now this is basically stuff we've already talked about before.
I'm there, in the shadows.
This might open up.
Naturally.
Okay. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, but we are getting close to when I'm gonna need to dive off very soon, but I do want to go in there at least and talk to the observant spec and find out if we can know more about the heart.
Yes. Now. Why not?
Let's try that again. There we go. If you find yourself wondering where to go or what to do, check the journal screen to refresh your memory. It is updated automatically anytime something happens that I can't read. Hi, it's me again. You've been talking to the Memovira. She sent you to claim something from the heart, hasn't she? Or rather, someone. The old woman shakes her head, too frightened to go herself, for she knows what will happen if she does. The cycle continues, cycles within cycles. How did you know? That's no business of yours. Just tell me how to get there if you can. What will happen? Blue Tide. Yes. The bloom will eat her body and soul. It doesn't matter how long she puts it off. The bloom will have her in the end. The only question is who it will find to take her place. She smiles. But you want to reach the heart, and I can help you.
I'll remember that.
Will you? Will you? One gets to the heart in the same way one gets anywhere in the bloom. A maw will take you, and the maw you want is just over there. The spec waves a hand toward the nearest corner of the shrine. You feel like a blindfold has been suddenly pulled from your eyes, and a wave of vertigo nearly knocks you to the floor. When you look up again, a maw has appeared. Ah! Eyes sparkling, the spec reaches out a hand to steady you. Sometimes the bloom hides things from us. Its whispers distract our attention. Our senses perceive what's there, but our minds don't. That maw has been here all along? Where does it lead? What does it eat? I think I'll take a look at the maw. Let's talk about something else. Where does it lead? Exactly where you want to go. To the heart. To the source of all the whispers. What does it eat?
I'll remember that.
Predators. But only those who are feared above all others. A person, a creature. The maw doesn't care. Getting them into the maw, that's the hard part. Ah, tentacles. That maw has been here all along. So it has. But only my eyes could see. Even now the others are blissfully unaware. She gestures at the cultists. Some of them catch a glimpse now and then, but the whispers make them forget. Yeah, just still sweeping along over there. We're fine. think I'll take a look at the maw. A thick mass of flesh protrudes from the wall, surrounded by waving tendrils. It appears to be another maw, just as the spec told you. There it is. If this maw wants a predator, then it's found one, and by that I mean me. He turns to you. Will it eat me? Please let it eat me. Oh my god. Alright, go ahead and offer yourself to the maw. I'll think about it. Aren't you afraid of these things? But it might kill you. His eyes dart to Matkina. Afraid? Never. I am a dangerous hero who predates. Yes, predates. I predate everything that stands in my way. What do I have to fear? He clears his throat. What I am is disgusted. Look at those things. What if they lick you? Who knows where those tongues have been? They remind me of sewage, and that's not something anyone should think about for too long. We are hesitant about this. We are not. Why? You know why. The voices are back. But it might kill you. But it might not. Eridus pauses, seemingly unable to think of any other arguments. Anyway, now that it's seen me, I'm sure it won't be satisfied with anyone else. Cut open the maw with the transdimensional scalpel. I will think about that. Observe the behavior of the bloom tongues. Eridus, you should offer yourself to the maw. God! No! Offer the jar of iron wind to the maw. Yeah, that'd do it. Offer yourself to the maw. Leave the maw alone. Observe the behavior of the bloom tongues. If you put up... Iron wind is so destructive. I mean, that might do it. You watch as the tendrils wave about, paying close attention to how they respond to those around you. Several tongues are fixated upon Matkina, tracking her movements like hounds on a scent. When she notices this, she starts pacing back and forth, but the tongues continue to follow her. Hurry it up, she mutters at you. A few tongues drift lazily toward Tiber. He stares at them, muscles tense, like a man making eye contact with his executioner. When they drift away, he visibly relaxes. No, a predator he is not. The tongues seem confused by Eridus. Some of them orient themselves toward him, their ends twitching furiously, while others pointedly avoid him. Matkina, the maw seems to regard you as a predator. Tiber, I think the maw is interested in you. I guess we'll offer the jar of iron wind to the maw. That's probably why we have it. I mean, it's either that or cut it open with a scalpel, which we could do. But I feel as though the bloom would be, shall we say, a tad more antagonistic than we'd be prepared for. Let us offer the jar. You draw out the battered metal jar and hold it aloft, well within the reach of the tongues. Nearby, you hear a sharp intake of breath from the speck. Is that? Risking a glance toward her, you see that her eyes are bright with wonder, and also horror. She watches the movements of the tongues, and it's clear that she has no idea what's going to happen next. I don't think anyone does. Several of the tongues dart toward the jar, snatching it out of your hands. They begin to twist at it, trying to pull it apart. For the first time, you realize what a mistake this might have been. Oh, God! Then you hear a loud buzzing sound from the metal container. Here we go. As if whatever was inside has suddenly woken up, the tongues stop twisting the jar. A furious chittering and hissing answers the angry buzzing of the iron wind, drowning it out. And the tongues toss the jar around like a great beast playing with its food. Then with a final violent shake, the tongues hurl the jar into the maw. The chittering and hissing rise to a climax, and the maw opens. Oh my God. Okay, alright. That was concerning for a moment there. Hey, we've got an open maw now. Still sweeping. Okay, good. Wow. Okay. That was of great concern. I think that, yeah, that was definitely something. That was definitely something. I'm running. I'm about out of time. It'd be nice to see what's in there, though, wouldn't it? Surely there'll be stuff to do once we get in there. Surely. Surely it won't be like immediate crisis, will it? But it'll probably be a very big scene that we'll have to do. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe the heart is a bigger area than that. I don't know. Shall we take a look? Let's take a look.
Fine.
Title search conversation options allow you to channel psychic forces to influence the world around you, though sometimes at a cost. These are only unlocked after you find someone to train you in the title affinity skill. Okay. Well, people appear to be... Predatory echoes appear to be fighting each other. That's someone named Venetian. Okay. Alright. So, lots of things to look at. There's a tongue cluster over there. This is someone who is transparent named Venetian. Interesting. They're like spiritual things here. And we are in the upper left-hand corner of this. There is apparently much to check out here. There's a lot of space. We are in the gullet. The gullet. Okay, now I'm getting this game. Aha! Yes, there is rather a lot of yeah. it's very yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. A pillar of abominations is erupting from the floor. Pus and bile drip from the tortured mangle and collect to form a moat at its base. The mouths on this pillar are softly breathing in and out. Long streams of yellow drool flow into the depression below. Dear God. Yeah, the maw is like the last. The maw. The bloom is like the last section, I think, of the story arc. But it's so weird. Yeah, the Ninth World is a fascinating setting. So yeah, I do strongly suggest checking it out. I'm going to save one more time now that we're here. Now that we're here, we may as well. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And we'll have to see how this goes. And we are on, I guess, a rescue mission. Trying to get back out. Is there a way back? There. Okay, yeah, it just dumped us here, and there's no exit. Also, just noticed that there's not a maw to step back through. So, yeah. Okay, well, I suspect that will do it. Let me go ahead and head out of this. That'll do it for today. Okay. So, let me go back and do this. Alright. Well, thank you all very much for hanging out. This is, this gets more and more interesting the deeper everything goes. I'm very interested to see kind of how this whole thing's gonna end. Getting closer to the ending now. Much closer. But it'll be a lot of fun to kind of deal with it. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. What do I have happening? So, on Saturdays, we have resumed our Invisible Sun campaign, finally, after like a 10-month hiatus. So, we will be playing Invisible Sun tomorrow night on this channel. It's a tabletop RPG, which is incredibly surreal. And we're sort of stumbling around trying to figure out what we were doing, and so we're in that phase of our return. On, let's see, on Tuesdays, right now we have a playtest going on, a mini-campaign playtest of a game called Genesis Undone, that I have written, that is a sort of a thing about trying to tell the story of the dawn of a fantasy civilization as though it were like a Greek tragedy or Shakespearean tragedy. And so we did all of our Session 0 stuff last time, and this time we're going to sort of pick it up and see what happens. It's tarot-based. We use tarot cards to determine the scenes, so I'm excited to see how the whole thing plays out. Apparently we're robots. That was the amusing thing that happened. We decided to be robots. On Wednesday nights, we have our Scum and Villainy game that happens regularly. Untitled space game that Brian is running. Also on Wednesday during the day is usually when I play City Skylines, where I do obsessive city building. I may end up playing it again between now and then. Who knows? Depending on how on how much the temptation is there. Then on Friday we'd be back around to this, and then it's sort of in times in between. Randomly, I'm also, when I feel like I have time, I'm doing stuff with Planet Coaster as well, so that may happen at some point. Yeah, very cool. I am looking forward to continuing this game and seeing how things start wrapping up. So let me see. I think I may do a bit of a raid when we hit the end card. There are a couple of folks who are currently streaming that I might want to say hi to. Alzabo Soup is going. That's a podcast about some of the works of Gene Wolfe, and so they've got a Twitch channel now, and I assume they're playing video games. What are they doing? They're doing Final Fantasy 6, it looks like. And let's see, Lantern Noir to Linear. There are a few people doing things. We may just go say hi to someone, and feel free, if you're so inclined, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That is, when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.